Mariners lose 7-6. They fall to 77-61 on the season. They guarantee a series loss against the Reds, and they've lost 3 straights. We'll talk about how it happens. Mariners get 2 in the first with a Teoscar homer off of former Mariner prospect Connor Phillips, 2-0. Reds get 1 in the third on a double by Jake Fraley, 2-1. Julio Rodriguez hits a 3-run homer in the fifth. That gives the Mariners a 5-1 lead. Reds get 2 in the sixth with Dominic Keown. You know what? I'm not correcting it. He's so crappy. I don't need to correct his name. He gives up 2 homers to make it 5-3. Julio has a multi-homer game. Homers to right. 6-3. 8th inning, something called Nick Martini homers with 2 runners on off Justin Topa. 6-6. Christian Encarnacion Strand singles home Ellie De La Cruz. 7-6. Before we get into all of it, even on a day like today, we can still thank the good people of Simply Seattle who have the very best in Seattle sports gear. If you're looking for hats, if you're looking for jackets, if you're looking for shirts, if you're looking for Mariner stuff, if you're looking for Sonic stuff, Seahawk stuff, Supersonic stuff, Kraken stuff, anything you could be looking for Seattle sports related, you can find it simplyseattle.com. And if you want to save some money on your order, use code MOLLYWOP15. That will take 15% off of your order. That's MOLLYWHOP at simplyseattle.com. There will be a link in the description. We thank you, Simply Seattle. I think this might be the worst regular season loss for the Seattle Mariners that I can remember. And keep in mind, remember is a key word here, because a lot of these bad losses that happened in 2002, 2003, I can't remember. It was 20 years ago. There were some bad ones in 2022. There were some bad ones in 2021. Some bad ones in 2018 or 19, whatever year that they got extremely lucky. This is the worst one I can remember in a long time. I do want to go over a few positives. Julio, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Amazing game. Teoscar gets on 3 times, hits a 2-run homer. And Matt Brash didn't look great, but he works around the walk, gets a strikeout. Gabe Spire works around his walk, gets a nice little clean inning. Everything else here is dog crap. I apologize to dogs because their crap doesn't need to be correlated with this absolute nightmare of a baseball game. Bryce Miller gave up just 1 run. It was the luckiest 1-run start I've ever seen. No hyperbole. He didn't fool anyone. He threw 1 pitch that made me go, oh, that was pretty darn good. And it was a big strikeout. So kudos there. And it was great to see that he didn't. The thing that he avoided was self-inflicted damage in terms of walks. Like he only issued the 1. So that was good. The stuff was terrible. He did not look good. And it's very concerning now that you have these 2 guys down the stretch in Brian Wu and Bryce Miller, and you're counting on them so much. That's 40% of your starts. And I apologize for the yelling. I promise you it's not the last one. So if you're not into me telling you about how I feel about the Seattle Mariner team today, I would appreciate you hitting like, and I would appreciate if you haven't subscribed, maybe coming back for a Mariner win. Because I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be a sounding board. It's a daily show. When they're great, you saw it over the last 24, that amazing streak in August, excuse me. I don't know where the number 24 came from, but you saw how positive this show can be. But you've also seen that this is a place for sounding boards. And I'm going to tell you how I feel. And I'm pissed. I'm very upset. Oh, man. Outside of Julio and Teoscar and JP Crawford reaches 3 times too. Sorry, JP. Sorry, my son. Outside of the top of the lineup, And we're talking 3 of the 4 because Cal didn't have a very good game. The offense was awful. They scored 6 runs because of Julio Rodriguez and Teoscar Hernandez. Let's just be honest here. And that's great. But on a day where a rookie is making his MLB debut, and folks, he did not look good. I think Connor Phillips has a chance to be a pretty good long-term option. But I wasn't impressed with what I saw from him. He struck out 7. Everybody's going to strike out 7 Seattle Mariners because of the swing and miss in their lineup. It's very hard not to. I think you just heard one of my dogs snoring. I'm so envious of them. I would much rather be sleeping than watching that absolute crap factory of an end of a game. But 40% of your starts now are made by Bryce Miller and Brian Wu. And if you're not nervous about that, congratulations on being the optimist of optimists, because it scares the heck out of me. Lots of faith in them long term. Even a little bit of faith in Miller short term. There's been some good. There's been some great. Tonight, he was very fortunate. And then Dominic Leone just sucks. There's no excuse for using Dominic Leone for the rest of the year. None. If he's not DFA'd tomorrow, it's an abject failure. I guess the only thing is, like, who are you bringing up? But I'd rather see Prelander Baroa. I'd rather see Ryder Ryan. I'd rather see me. Because at least I can take blame for myself when I suck, rather than blaming Dominic Leone. Dominic Leone is not someone who should be pitching in a postseason run like this. I understand it was a 5-run lead, or a 4-run lead, excuse me. Be easier to justify with 5. I don't know why. Or 6 or 20. But I don't get going to Leone there. Oh, and he was awful. He was awful. And speaking of awful, I mean, we absolutely knew regression for Justin Topa was coming. It's looked ugly lately, folks. His command is awful right now. He is not coming close to hitting his spots. Not close. And he was wretched today. And let's remember that on Friday, he needed a literal Slegosaur to be running in order to get out of that thing. If not for the fact that Daniel Vogelbach is a nose tackle of a baseball player, they don't win that game without that play. They don't. Absolutely not. And he looked bad in a couple outings against Kansas City as well. There's no denying that Justin Topa is one of the best success stories of the Seattle Mariners, without question. But boy, oh boy, has he been crap lately. Not just in the results. The results, you know, you may look at that and say, he's been a little shaky. Like, just watching him pitch, it's a real struggle for him. And then Andre Munoz, he gives up an infield hit. L.A. De La Cruz, what a special talent that guy is, by the way. He shows off that speed. I will say a shortstop with a good arm gets him. J.P. Crawford does not have a good arm. I will absolutely fight to the death with that. I see every metric. There's a lot of things J.P. Crawford does well. Throw the baseball is not necessarily one of them. It was a good play, though. I will give Crawford credit for making that a close play. Quick release with a little more arm strength, they maybe get him. The fact it was close, I give credit to J.P. Crawford. Steals the base. Munoz is awful at holding runners. And then he gives up a little ground ball chopper. And you see one of the fastest players in baseball. I believe my buddy J.J. Cooper said he was running at 31 feet a second. Holy crap. So credit to him. I don't think Munoz actually pitched that badly. I mean, be nice if you missed some bats. That hit was just a little dinky dunker, and so was De La Cruz and their speed. However, be nice if they were better at holding runners. Do want to give credit to Cal Raleigh today for making 2 really good throws to get runners, and boy, did that help Miller. Boy, did that help him to be able to get those guys. I'm trying to save this for the end, so I want to make sure, because I don't know if I can handle it. So it's the 9th inning. Alexis Diaz, who is a very talented closer, but a guy who has command issues, didn't have it today in terms of throwing strikes. He walks Teoscar Hernandez on 5 pitches. I don't think it was 4, but he does walk Teoscar Hernandez. Ty France does what Ty France does and almost hits into a double play. Ty France is absolutely terrible right now. They do the right thing. They get a pinch runner in for him. Mike Ford is hit. So Canzone gets out. Mike Ford gets hit. So you've got runners on first and second. He's thrown, I believe it was 8 of 21 pitches for strikes. Eugenio Suarez, who took over at third base, comes to the plate. And folks, I think we all know that Eugenio Suarez is going through some struggles right now. And he takes ball 1. He takes ball 2. He takes ball 3. And keep in mind that the 2 runners on base are there because of Alexis Diaz's terrible control. And Suarez swings on 3-0. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. What are you doing? It wasn't even a pitch down the middle of the plate. It was a good pitch. He made up his mind to swing at that pitch before it happened, and that's unacceptable. I know a lot of people in here love Eugenio Suarez. I love Eugenio Suarez too. His defense this year has been massive for the Seattle Mariners. It helped makes up for the fact, nobody wants to hear this, that J.P. Crawford being not a great defensive player, having Eugenio Suarez be able to have that range down the line and to the balls that are hit up the middle, you know what I mean, is huge. But he's been and you're gonna cite WRC to me and all this crap. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. He was supposed to be a middle of the order option for you. And outside of 1 month, he has not given you that at all. And today, to do that in that situation, I can't. I can't. What a disaster of a road trip this has been so far. Now, here's me being Mr. Optimism now. It's pretty cool that these games still matter. Like if you told me, if you used your little time machine to go back to June 5th, something along those lines, you said, Chris, here's what's going to happen. The Mariners, I only have the ability to see up to September 5th. The Mariners are going to be a game out of first place. They're going to frustrate the heck out of you with some losses in early September. But they're going to be well within the wild card hunt and well within the divisional hunt. But be prepared. Some of these games are going to try and stab you in the ding dong. I'd take it every time. So it is cool that the Seattle Mariners are playing games that mean a lot. And I'm certainly not giving up on the year. It goes with to say it goes without saying is an understatement to that phrase. It's a disrespectful thing to that phrase. But goodness gracious, what a excruciating loss this was. And the way they did it, to give up a pinch hit home run to Nick Martini, a guy that every organization has had a chance to have at some point. And wisely, for the most part, said, no, thank you. He's having a decent year. 561 slugging percentage. Guessing that sample's still pretty small, but hey, good for you, Nick Martini. But to give up the 3-run homer in that situation, and then to have runners on first and second with 2 outs in a 3-0 count, to swing at that pitch, I can't. I just can't. A golden opportunity to get this win and to go for the series win. Makes you forget kind of about the series loss to the New York Metropolitans. But instead, you got to win tomorrow to avoid a sweep. I mean, what an absolute nightmare. I appreciate the Mariners being in the position, but I literally cannot remember a more devastating regular season loss. Tomorrow, you got Logan Gilbert against Lyon Richardson. You better freaking win. I don't know. I don't know. Please hit like and subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Please follow me on all the websites. I don't know. This one took a lot out of me. Go get him next time, I guess.